Hi, it's Kirith here and welcome to another GT Sport video. We're here at Monza in the Daily Race C, which is the daily race this week. Quite a fun race in the past, so let's see how we do. Going to jump into this one with no qualifying, haven't driven this track in a while. So going to be using the Mustang, which is a nice stable car, but the car of choice is the Nissan GTR, that car on the left hand side here. And we're going to be using that later on to see how we do. But we're going to crash in here to turn 1 at Monza, which I've spoken about before. It can be absolute chaos, but this looks to be fairly orderly as far as turn 1 at Monza goes. Not too bad, but my recommendation would still be definitely do the qualifying if you can, because the higher up the grid you qualify, the more likely you are to be ahead of any chaos that happens at turn 1 on the first lap. And if you do like these videos, please feel free to subscribe. We're getting so close now to 100 subscribers, which is crazy, and really enjoy answering these questions in the comments as we go in here to the second chicane, taking it nice and easy. I don't really know my braking points at the moment, so not trying to overdo it, but there's definitely time to be made up here as we go into the first Lesmo. Guy ahead brakes a little bit early, but it's the second Lesmo that I find is really key. If you can get a good exit there, then you can really get people using the slipstream on this kind of infield straight, as there's a train of cars ahead. Now, another thing I want to speak about a little bit in this video is my pedals. So I have a new set of Thrustmaster T3PA Pro pedals, which I put into the GT position as soon as I got them a week or two ago. And the GT position is basically, it mounts them in an inverted style, so they kind of hang off the plate in front of you like you would have in a real car, or I guess a GT car. But I've realised actually, I think a consequence of having the pedals in that position means that I don't always use full braking pressure when I want to, or sometimes I'm using less braking pressure than I think, and it's not 100% intuitive. That's probably me not being that experienced at using the pedals in that style. But what I did after this race in the Mustang is I put them back for the first time to the default style, the F1 karting style, where they are on the floor. So I'll give a proper review of those pedals later on, but I just wanted to mention that so you can see how my braking is in this first video compared to the race we're going to have a look after this in the Nissan GTR. But let's get back into this race. So we're up into 10th position from qualifying, starting I think dead last pretty much. So definitely ground to be made up. I'm on the medium tyres though, so this is when I need to be making hay, because I'm going to pay for it later on in the hard tyres. Kind of finding my braking positions now as it gets all a bit hairy here in the second chicane, and make up a couple of positions as people go wide. We're here behind Game of the Game 20th of the Game clan, but he's going to be serving a penalty, so I don't need to rush anything here. Probably. Oh, okay. He given benefit of doubt there. He didn't see me. Oh, but there's another one. Okay, I think he is just trying to have a bit of a go. Lose a position. Will we get it back from him? Will we manage to go through? No, we don't. So got to make it past him again, and he's not going to pass me off this time. Much obliged, sir. As we go in here through a scary, quite a fun corner. When you know how to hook it up, don't really at the moment, but you need to kind of ride it a bit there. Fully accelerate when you can for the left-hander. So up into 8th place. Not too bad. Only lap 2 out of 10. Still a long way to go, but more importantly, learning the track. Getting more comfortable with my braking points as we approach Parabolica here, and probably braking a little bit too early there, but learning it all the time. Parabolica is a corner that I need to be a bit better at. When you hook it up nicely, it's a great feeling, and you slam on the brakes at exactly the right time, ease off, get back on the power, and have a nice kind of arc through the corner and maximise your exit speed. As we go down the straight here into turn 1, are we going to have a go? There's quite a big overspeed on the medium tyres. Are going to have a bit more grip, but we don't quite get it done. But the GTR runs very wide, and he loses it a little bit on the exit, so it's going to be a drag race now. But we're going to have the inside for the next corner that matters, the second chicane, so that should serve us in good stead. We've got another car, Game of the Game 20 for company behind. Again, we know that he doesn't mind the physical contact. What's he going to do here? I think I'm probably going to brake a little bit early, trying to avoid any of that chaos. As the blue car goes very deep, and maybe we can ease it around the outside, but we get one tap and another tap. Oh no, and it's all over as the rear swaps ends, and we're going to reverse it back on the track here with Ghoster, so it's okay. But that's the end of this race really. So we're going to jump now into the Nissan GTR race, the race I did after this, which is the car of choice. So that is what people are going to be using this week, I think. We're going to skip over the first lap because that was just the usual Monza carnage. And we go here on lap 2 as we go into turn 1. Someone goes very deep, the Dutch driver just goes straight on. Spaniard picks up a 1 second penalty, and another Spaniard here as well for company. So we're in 11th place, but we're only 5 seconds off the lead. So it's nice and compact here, definitely places to be made. And as I said, we are in the car of choice now. I know the braking point is a little bit better. We're starting here on the hard tyre, you can see here on the bottom left of the screen. So we're going to be getting onto that medium for the second bit of the race. And we should be eating cars for breakfast as we overtake them. So there's a train of cars ahead here, and I have to make that pit stop at some point because you have to use the medium and the hard tyre. So it might be worth swapping onto that medium earlier than usual. I think normal to swap on the medium might be lap 4, lap 5. But you can do it early if you want to. As someone serves a penalty, we're going to take that position. Do we get through that go? We don't quite get through their Ghost, but they pick up a 1 second penalty. That is not their fault at all. So I should definitely be getting a penalty for that, but I don't. Got UK Gadget Man for companies. We leave him a bit of room there to get through. That's fine, but he gets a ½ second penalty. I think he must have cut the corner slightly. So people picking up penalties galore, and you will get a 20 second penalty if you don't use both tyre compounds. That's definitely worth bearing in mind. And also if you qualify and try and qualify on the medium tyre, which I obviously didn't do. So we get a little nudge here as we go round Parabolica, the Italian, and now a Dutchman coming through as well. We've got another Italian on the right hand side here for company, so we've lost a lot of places there. Got number 15 on the car, so there are a lot of DR points to be made here. I'm trying to get back to DRA. This is probably going to be the race that gets me back up there, but it's also probably going to be dependent on qualifying to avoid the chaos. And speaking of chaos, what's going to happen here is someone comes out of hyperspace inside me, which is never a nice feeling, and we inch our way around the first chicane. So that was very unusual. I think someone must have ghosted off or reset, and then they reset back inside my car. So that could have been worse. As we get up now to the second chicane, and a couple of cars battling as we go into the chicane, so a good idea I think to be nice and early on the brakes so you don't get caught up in that and you can kind of make the split second decisions that you need to. But there's a bit of bumper cars. We're all going to make it round okay there with no penalty. Are we going to get past the Italian driver here as well? I don't think quite. Very nice livery the Italian driver has on that Nissan. I do like that. As we go around the first Lesmo, got a car behind for company. Italian gets a bit out of shape. Second Lesmo, it's all important ones. We go through a ghosted car there, it's all kicking off. We don't get a fantastic exit there. I think I dropped down into second just to get the car rotated. But we're going to be back in the slipstream and get past this Spaniard here who served a penalty. So very exciting race so far, it's all happening. We go into Ascari. Can we get it stopped? We run it a little bit wide, but then you just got to hang it on that right hand curve and then accelerate out here. You can shift up a little bit earlier than I did there, and when you hook it up, it's a great feeling. This is going to be a really fun track to qualify at, I think. Just get into qualifying, just go around the laps, find your braking points, hook it all up. It's a good track, Monza. And we go into Parabolica, a little bit wide, but that means that we might catch it back up on exit, or maybe not. It was just a really bad way around that corner. So we're actually going to dive into the pits here very, very, very early, lap 3 out of 10. That's probably as early as you can go, and people are normally going to stop on lap 4, 5, 6, I think, and that puts us into last place, but it means we're in clear air and we can kind of make up that ground now, and hopefully people are going to pit ahead of us before we kind of get caught up and all that again. Braking nice and early here as I don't really know the braking point coming out of the pits, and we get it round, just easing it around, not doing anything silly. No traction control here, and you can spin the tyres in first and second gear there, so just don't throw it all away. So we're 4 or 5 seconds behind the car in front. There are a couple of cars behind us. The car behind us actually has set the fastest lap of the race, so that's not a particularly fast lap. Maybe they were also doing a similar strategy. We are. We're coming up now to UK Gadget Man. He's been caught up in the wars as well probably, but maybe we can get a nice tow along the infield straight here after the second Lesmo. There's a train of cars ahead, so let's see what we can do. Are we going to hook this up? Yep, that's not a bad exit, and you can see if you look at the time differential on the left hand side here, we are just eating him up here with the slipstream, and there's a bit of fighting. We get past the Belgian driver. Probably not going to try and do a move here, it's too soon. We brake. Ooh, just avoid touching him. We both get through there nicely. We made contact early in the race, so it's nice to get through there without contact this time. So in 17th place, and looks like we're way off a win, way off a podium, but actually it's a pitting race and it's all to play for. And what Monza gives, Monza takes away for everyone. So everyone has the same chance really, unless you're way out in front, of getting caught up in some kind of incident. So you just got to put your head down, keep going. I think. So we're going to follow Gadget Man here. Is he going to dive into the pits? No. So catching him up now. Probably he hasn't pitted, so they probably have a kind of pit stop time in hand. So their early pit stop paying off, I think, already up into 16th place. Are we going to try and go around the outside? No, we're not. Just very gently here. And easing onto the power there, trying to build up the speed through that corner, lap by lap. It would be nice to get the fastest lap as well. That's definitely on the cards if possible. But more importantly, got to get up the grid here and get a good finishing position, move my DR back up to A. So I've got 15 slapped on the bonnet here, so there's loads of points, boatload of points to be picked up here. So we go through the second chicane and we're going to make a move here on the inside. Quite easy to get the move done here when you've got that, because you just hang it tight and he backs out, and we're going to go through the second Nesmo now. Someone's picking up a penalty and we're going to get a slipstream, so it's a good place to be, so we don't take that too badly. That will do. Let's see what happens here. On the infiltrator, someone takes a penalty. The Italian driver, will the Spanish driver manage to get past? Yep, they play it nicely 2 by 2. Probably not going to be able to follow him through. Brake a bit early, try and get a good exit here. So either we can have someone as we go into Parabolica, or we can take someone onto the straight going into turn 1. And sometimes it's not always a good idea to try and take someone at the inside of Parabolica, because that means you move out the slipstream, and depending on where other cars around you, that can be a worse thing to do actually. So, oh, the Spanish driver goes very wide, so we're going to follow the Italian through here. Nice and easy. And again, if anyone is pitting ahead of us, then is Italian driver going to pit? Nope. If anyone's pitting ahead of us, then they're just losing time now that we've essentially got in the bag, because they've been battling away. So we make up another position. The only thing we've got to worry about is the tyre degradation and what the tyre wear is going to be like for the last couple of laps. As the Dutch driver, was the same Dutch driver again, a couple of Dutch drivers going through the chicane as Bollard ends up in the middle of the track, and the Italian driver will spin. So we're up into 10th place now, we're motoring along, this is it. This is what we need to do. We're on the medium tyre and we're overtaking cars, and a lot of cars getting into trouble themselves actually. So we just keep going, don't make mistakes. We're going to make up positions here, and there's another set of 4 cars ahead of us here, so nice targets we can see ahead of us, and we're taking that second chicane better and better every lap. I think you can really focus on the yellow sausage curve on the inside and use that as your limit rather than the curve itself, because you can really kind of abuse those curves without getting a penalty. And an Austrian driver runs wide there, so we pick up another penalty. And we're still in slipstream range of the Italian AMG ahead, so this race is turning out not too badly actually, considering that we were pretty much down in last place I think when we took our pit stop. So we come through here in a Ascari, try and get on the throttle. Ideally I think you can change up a bit early mode, but then we run very wide actually. Don't think we're going to pick up a penalty, although everyone ahead of us picks up a penalty. We'll take that, but I didn't really get that hooked up that nicely, and I think the exit speed there is the most important thing, so you can compromise other corners in that sequence, make sure you get your exit nicely on track. So another car has pitted and someone else dives into the pit, and the 2 cars ahead of us have a penalty, so if we can get into striking distance of them, we'll be able to have a go on the back straight or into Parabolica. This British driver comes out the pits. Are we going to get past him? Probably not. Let's see, although actually going to try and no, can't quite do it, and he's out in a Mustang, car we used in the first race, and we know that's got pulling power. He might be on the medium tyre now as the French driver is all over the place. Are we going to get it on the inside, a little bit on the grass? Yeah, we do. So we've got an AMG at Mustang and we're in a Nissan. Lap 7, 7th place. What can we do here as we brake a little bit late? Ooh, that's on the limit, but the Mustang actually gets into a bit of argy-bargy there, and the Italian gets a penalty. So that's pretty much as good as we could have hoped for there. We've got a car on an inside the company, but he ends up punting the Italian, so maybe he'll get a penalty as well, so we can let him through. And yep, he's got a penalty. So 3 cars ahead of us serving penalties, and cars behind us serving penalties. Everyone's gone penalty crazy. We're the only car without one, and we're going to hopefully make the most of that here on the infield straight as we go through these 2 cars. Take them nice, and they're going to battle now as they go into Ascari. So in 5th place, 15 seconds behind first, which is probably too far to get first unless he needs to pit. But 4th place is in striking distance, and we can see a car ahead of him too. So again, all to play for. Now the only thing we've got to worry about here ourselves really is the tyre wear, because we changed very early on lap 3 for these medium tyres. You can see the graphic on the bottom left there, they look to be holding up okay, and the leader goes into the pits. So let's see what that does for the lead. The Portuguese driver is now 10 seconds ahead. And all it takes is for someone to do a mistake, and then it can all come back to you. So we're here now in 5th place, going over the straight. That was a really slow lap. 4 seconds off the fastest lap, so there is so much time to be had. If we had lost those 4 seconds, we would only be 6 seconds away from the leader. So let's see if we can hook it up nicely here. So we keep it in first gear around that corner. We're a bit slow on the acceleration. You can probably take that corner in second gear, the second part of that chicane. I think that's probably the fastest way to go. So we've got the French driver again for company behind us. He's caught up pretty quickly. Let's see if he's going to do anything crazy here. It's a long way behind, but it's not. So we take it nicely here through the chicane. Just ride the curb a little bit. French driver getting a little bit out of shape. But yeah, you can see on the right hand side there my lap times. I lost about 5 seconds on lap 2 and lost, call it 3 seconds on the last lap. So that is 8 seconds, and that's pretty much the gap to the lead, and that's all it is. So qualifying. If you qualify ahead of any chaos, you can just churn out your lap times, then you're going to pick up race wins here, definitely. So, going to go to Ascari. French driver really close for comfort. When you get us very close, we don't make contact, and we are probably going to be in slipstream range of the British driver now. So we're going to be catching him up now as we lost the French driver. So RIP to him. But it's going to be what happens at turn 1 here. So we were 1.5 seconds behind as we came out of Ascari. How far behind are we as we're going to when we come out of the chicane at turn 1? Let's have a look. The gap is dropping. It's only 1 second now. Probably going to be only 6 or 7 tenths by the time we actually get to turn 1. As we do a faster lap there, so 48.9. We can still probably go about a second quicker with the slipstream. So let's see what we can do on this lap. The gap to the lead is also down to 9 seconds as we kind of inch it through here. So we're on the medium tyres, but the tyre wear doesn't seem to be affecting us that much as the British driver just gets a bit of wheel spin. And we're going to put it up the inside here. So we take 4th place, and it's 4 seconds to the car ahead. And the gap to the leaders is coming down all the time, and basically the bulk of 2 laps still to go. Plenty of times for people to bottle it here, as the Russian driver looked to be quite slow there. And we're catching him, so that gap is probably going to come down to 3 seconds soon enough if we can hook it up here. And we're getting it done nice through the first Lesmos. We get back on the power here. Can we have a good exit from the second Lesmo? Do we ride that curve? And yeah, on the power, could be on the power a little bit earlier, but it's a good exit, and you can see kind of catching up a little bit with the guy in front. It's pretty marginal, but that 3rd place is definitely up for grabs, and you can see 2nd is just ahead of him as well. Only 1 lap to go, but this is why I love these daily races C, where you have the tyre wear, have the pit stop, because there's different strategies, and actually they might look like big chunks of time, but actually they can be made up pretty quickly. So if we can do another lap in the 48s, and we're going to be putting the pressure on this. I called him a Russian driver. I think he's Slovakian or Slovenian. I don't know which one. But we're going to be putting the pressure on him as we go through Parabolica. Keep it nice and tight there. It's not too bad. Again, it's the corner I need to work on the most. But pressure on the guy ahead now as we come into turn 1 for the last lap. So you can see here the Nissan GTR, definitely a quicker car. As I said, the fastest lap of the race, 48.7, but I can go a lot quicker than that. So for me, this is working out better than the Mustang. And you can see third, second, and first all bunched up here. So maybe people on different strategies. I'm on the medium tyre. They're wearing a little bit now, but just did the fastest lap. Although someone's just done me there. Dutch driver maybe there on the new set of mediums. Fuel also going down all the time. So the cars are just going faster and faster and faster. Let's see what we can do here. I think we're going to need a mistake from the Slovakian or the Slovenian driver. And I think it's Slovakia. I go with. I have been to both these countries, so I should know. As he goes well wide here, he's probably spun up tyres, and we're going to make the move. He's all over the track, and I feel a little bit from there. When the tyres go in this daily racing, they really go. So you've got to look after them when you can as well. I think the first couple of laps, when I went on to these medium tyres, changed very early, I did look after them a little bit, and that hopefully is paying dividends now. You can probably catch me up here if I don't get a good exit out of Ascari though. So I'm currently on the podium from starting middle of the pack and then ending up right down the back of the pack. So quite a good result. And it's not a fantastic way through Ascari, and is right in my slipstream and eating up the time now. I think it's just going to be too far. So unless I make a complete hash of Parabolica, we're going to finish this race in third place. Let's have a look. Yeah, take it nice and easy. No point doing anything silly, running too wide. I'm going to finish this race in third place. So quite a fun race. I think the Nissan GTR is the car to be in. And qualifying. If you can qualify way up the grid, you're just going to save yourself a lot of headaches. You can see pretty much everyone here is in the GTR. Would be good to mix it up. You can find a car that gets past GTR on the straights. But yeah, quite a fun race this week. Going to be doing a lot more in Monza, I think. Maybe a few more videos, as I hope I'm going to get back to the A ranking, be racing with some faster drivers. But that's it for this time. I'll see you next time.